Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Fast Pass, the history podcast in close to 30 minutes or less. I'm Jason, and we are back.
And I'm Megan, and after a 3-year hiatus, we are back with a new co-host, Trevor.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Today we're going to be rehashing the classic Assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. So let's start by introducing the players. Archduke Franz Ferdinand Karl Ludwig Joseph Maria of Austria.
That's his whole name?
That's his whole name. And the Black Hand's there too.
Now, before we talk about the event, let's give a little background on Archduke Franz Ferdinand, am I right? He suffered bouts of tuberculosis in his 20s and early 30s. Bouts. Plural. And this is a thing that could kill you. This man suffered. But, I mean, obviously he did live, otherwise we wouldn't have to have the whole Black Hand assassination thing. Anyway, because of his multiple tuberculosis diagnoses, he had weak lungs and had to travel all over the world for medical treatment. A side effect of these weak lungs was that his uncle, the current emperor, didn't believe Franz would live long enough to take the throne. Franz
was also an avid hunter, to the point where it got a little scary. His personal record was 2,140 animals in a day. Self-given record, so take that with a grain of salt. He definitely enjoyed hunting a little bit too much. He wrote about killing a tiger in India, saying, quote, "I cannot describe my joy," end quote.
Ew.
Yeah. In his personal journal, he credited himself with over 272,000 kills over the span of his hunting, quote-unquote, career. The way he did it was he did this one style of hunting where you go to an area that's flooded with a certain type of animal, whether it's like a quail farm or a rabbit farm, and just go there. And then with a bunch of servants and a bunch of rifles or a bunch of guns and just fire, pass it off to somebody else so they can reload, pick up a new gun from another servant, bang, swap, bang, swap, bang, swap. It's insane.
And it doesn't even sound like it was a real thing. He didn't go out and physically hunt him. He was just stock shooting.
For most of his kills, yeah.
Fake.
How else are you going to get 2,140 animals in a day?
Fake hunter.
Fake lying. His uncle, Emperor Franz Joseph, described his hunting as mass murder. And I have to agree. He decorated his house with 100,000 trophies of his kills, and people said you had to be careful when walking so you didn't get impaled by horns.
Yeah, on the flip side, he had a passion for roses. The most masculine thing you could do throughout history was have a garden, be obsessed with flowers and planting, and then show off said garden stuff to other dudes. I mean, there was a whole black market trade for seeds and bulbs.
Sensitive side of men.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you see, another fact of our quote-unquote protagonist. Is he protagonist? I don't know. Either way, his wife, Countess Sophia Hotek of Bohemia, was deemed to be of too low of stature for Franz and was deemed unsuitable for marriage since she was below the status of princess. Now, Ferdinand reached out to the Pope for help securing the marriage, but, this union did kind of upset his uncle, who was a no-show for the wedding.
Damn.
Yeesh.
Which added, fun fact, even more tension to their strained relationship.
One stipulation of the marriage was that Sophie could gain no royal rank, and their children were all stripped of their rights to the throne, couldn't attend events by his side, and couldn't be buried with him in Vienna.
Yikes.
It's just a little extreme.
I know.
It's just a little extreme.
Feels like a little bit much. Especially because Franz was a family man. Him and Sophie had 3 kids, none of which would get the throne. Sophie was born in 1901, because they named one of the kids after Sophie. Maximilian, born in 1902, and Ernest, born in 1904. He didn't like a lot of people outside of his immediate family, but he absolutely adored his wife and kids. In an excerpt from a letter that he wrote, quote, "By far the cleverest thing I ever did in my life was to marry my Sophie. She is everything for me. My wife, my doctor, my advisor. In a word, my whole happiness. And then our children. They are my whole pride and joy. I sit with them all day long in amazement that I can love them so much. And then the evenings at home when I smoke my cigar and read my papers, Sophie knits and the children tumble about, knocking everything off the tables. It's all so cozy and precious." End quote. And when they were shot, his last words were, "Sophie, don't die. Stay alive for the children." Spoiler alert, my bad.
Wow, okay. Now, you see, the thing is, he also did believe in universal suffrage, which, just remember,
Nice.
suffrage is not suffering.
Suffrage.
Fun fact, listen, some people got really confused about that. I have to specify this. People thought that involved actual suffering. That's why
Open the schools.
yeah, open the schools. He believed in universal suffrage, but only for men, so not really universal.
No.
Anyway, he wanted to modernize the archaic rules that were slowly killing the empire. Part of which is the reason why Franz Ferdinand and his uncle, Franz Joseph, had a tense relationship. Franz Joseph believed Ferdinand was a hothead who, for sheer ambition, could not wait for him to die.
Damn.
Yike.
Oh my god.
Ouch.
Yike. And Franz Ferdinand believed that his uncle was an old man desperately clinging on to power.
Oof. Feel that.
Yeah. It got to the point where Franz had built up a close circle of people around him that came to be regarded as a kind of shadow government. Ooh, never want to hear shadow government in one of these.
Always fun.
Speaking of shadowy figures, let's introduce the Black Hand to the picture. Here's a little bit more history to set the stage. In 1699, the Ottoman Empire held control of quite a large expanse of Eastern Europe, the Middle East, and the northern coast of Africa. It also held control of the Balkans. However, the Ottomans got into a fight with the Russians, and by 1878, 4 countries were granted their independence from the Ottomans. But Bosnia was not one of them. It was now under Austro-Hungary control. But theoretically, it still belonged to the Ottomans. Don't worry if you're confused with this, because also, same. So the large Serbian and Slavic populations of Bosnia are mad about this move, and Serbia has decided they want to annex Bosnia. But in 1908, because of a revolution in the Turkish Ottoman Empire, the Austrians annexed Bosnia first. Serbia gets upset and goes to Big Brother Russia for support, and Russia just says, "I believe in you, kid. Get out of my room." But upon hearing Russia might get involved, Germany rolls up and says if Russia wants to throw hands, Germany will stand by Austria, which is a problem.
Yeah. Ferdinand absolutely hated Serbians. He called them pigs, murderers, and scoundrels. Also, Ferdinand had been given plenty of prior notice to the fact that the Black Hand wanted to kill him. I mean, aside from all the death threats that he had received, Intel also told him that there were assassins waiting for him in Sarajevo. His wife begged him not to go and to call off the trip, but Franz said something along the lines of, "Death is better than humiliation."
Oof.
We saw how that panned out.
Oof. So in 1911, Colonel Dragutin Dimitrievich formed the Black Hand, a secret society of Serbian nationalists whose goal is to bring countries with large Serbian minorities under Serbian control, aka a bunch of terrorists. This is a man who in 1903 organized the assassination of Alexander I, the leader of Serbia who supported the Austro-Hungary group. But this new group starts off with a bad track record by failing to kill Emperor Franz Joseph of Austria-Hungary in 1911, Franz Ferdinand's uncle.
In 1912, the Balkan countries, including Serbia, teamed up to fight the remaining Ottomans in the area and succeeded in pushing them out quite a ways. One guy who wanted to fight, however, was Gavrilo Princip. He was turned down from serving because he might have tuberculosis.
Oh my god.
Now the Balkan coalition is squabbling over splitting up the land, and by the end of it, Serbia doubles in size, much to the distaste of Austria. Seeing this as a victory, Dimitrievich decides to assassinate General Oskar Potiorek, the governor of Bosnia. However, they do not succeed in killing the man, bringing their successful kill ratio to 1 out of 3.
I mean, I don't like those odds.
Not
Now
great.
we go on to the actual assassination day. Now we're getting to the meat of this, which is June 23rd, 1914. He and his wife departed that morning from their estate at the Bosnia-Herzegovina. Again, he knew about the dangers. Quote, "Our journey starts with an extremely promising omen," he says when the axle on his car overheated. "Here our car burns, there they will throw bombs at us." Man, he could see the future.
He arrived at a spa nearby and spent 2 days going to military exercises while Sophie visited schools and orphanages. One day they even decided to go to a bazaar, but were greeted with warmth from the country.
Yeah. On the morning of June 28th, Franz Ferdinand sent his eldest son a telegraph congratulating him on his exam results. Then they boarded the train to Sarajevo. They got off, walked together in public, which Sophie was not normally able to do. They did this for a military inspection. Then they got into an open-top motorcade. Side note, I think we should bring back open-top motorcades. No particular reason.
Now hear me out. On one hand, open-top motorcade. On the other hand, Pope Mobile.
So, despite all the death threats and warnings and intelligence stating that things weren't going to end well, they seemed pretty lax with their security. Apparently, throughout the trip, Austria-Hungary officials were more concerned about the dinner menu than the security detail.
Crazy.
Ferdinand's car was supposed to hold 6 specially trained officers, but instead carried 1 officer and 3 local policemen.
bit of a difference.
No big deal.
As if that was enough, the route to the motorcade was published in advance. 7 Bosnians found out along Applequay, the main avenue in Sarajevo, that paralleled... Oh my god, why did you commit this?
The Mutschlechner River.
The Mutschlechner River. The first of 7 assassins just punked out and let the car pass.
Yeah, so the second assassin, Kabrinovich, asked which car carried the Archduke and then threw a bomb at it. The bomb bounced off the folded-up roof, rolled under the wrong vehicle, and the resulting explosion wounded 2 army officers and a bunch of bystanders, completely missing the Archduke and his wife. Realizing he was screwed if he got caught, swallowed a cyanide pill and tossed himself into the river. Unfortunately for him, the cyanide pill expired, which rendered it inert, and the river was too shallow to drown in. So... Yeah, he was arrested, and he said, "I am a Serbian hero." Side note, poison has an expiration date, and it becomes less deadly when it expires, not more deadly.
But this incident didn't stop the motorcade. It kept going and made it to the event at City Hall. After the event ended, instead of going to safety, he went to the hospital to visit the wounded warriors. His only safety precaution was, and I kid you not, going really fast.
As if that was enough, by mistake, because the driver didn't speak the same language as Franz Ferdinand, they went down the wrong street where Gavrilo Principe was standing, sipping a drink and eating a sandwich. The driver was trying to reverse down a narrow road, but Principe got to him first. He was like, might as well murder Franz while I'm here. And so shot him point blank twice, hitting him in the neck and also hitting Sophie in the stomach. Both of them died minutes after their shooting, and his last words were, again, Sophie, don't die. Stay alive for our children. And then she died.
Yikes.
Yeah, but Principe also tried to take the cyanide pill like the other guy did. And just like the other guy, it didn't work. So he tried to shoot himself with the same pistol, which jammed. So he was taken into custody.
Principe was 19 years old, and he admitted to killing Ferdinand, but said he didn't mean to hit Sophie. Oopsies.
Oopsies.
That's quite a
Bit of an oopsie.
He made a little boo-boo. He was 3 weeks too young to receive the death penalty, so he was given 20 years in prison, but he died in 1918 from, wait for it, tuberculosis.
Honestly, tuberculosis is a real star of this show.
Yeah, in a trial in 1917, Dmitrievich and 2 others were executed and 200 more were imprisoned, bringing an end to the Black Hand. And this episode.
Thank you guys so much for listening to our premiere episode of Fast Past. If you want to see our sources, they are listed in the episode description. And the rest is history.
Bye-bye.